Let's go over what you'll need. A ruler, 1/4 inch polypropylene diamond braided rope, scissors, 3/4 inch D-rings, and a lighter. The rope that I prefer to use I get from rope.com. It is 1/4 inch diamond braid polypropylene rope. Some highlights about the polypropylene diamond braided rope. It has a breaking strength of 1,100 pounds. I've also found it has very minimal stretch to it when weight is applied to it compared to other types of rope. The rings that I use in this video I order from Country Brook Designs. They are 3/4 inch welded D-rings. I found that I like the D-rings better than the O-rings because they seem to cause less irritation under the chin. I also started using the rings instead of the traditional tied lead knot because I found it to be a whole lot less bulky. There is also less risk involved of a calf getting their hoof or leg stuck in the tie knot. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is measure out our rope. We need a total rope length of 11 foot 6 inches. I found this size is enough rope to fit about any average sized miniature zebu calf. You can always adjust these measurements and sizes accordingly to make halters for your adult zebu as well. The next thing we're going to do is grab our scissors and cut the rope at 11 foot 6 inches. Once your rope is cut, you're going to want to grab your lighter and you're going to want to burn the ends of your rope so they don't fray. Please be careful and not to injure yourself, as it can get very hot. After I've melted the ends, I like to let them cool slightly so I don't get burnt, and then I like to use my hands to push in the sides so there's no rough, sharp edges. The next thing we're going to want to do is gather up the piece of rope we have just cut. You're going to want to find the ends and make them even, and then slide your hand down the rope until you reach the center. Once you've reached the center of your rope, you're going to want to go about 1 hand's width, or approximately 5 to 6 inches. And you're going to tie your first knot. It doesn't matter if you tie to the left or the right for your first knot. You are then going to slide down approximately 3 inches and tie another knot the opposite direction of which you did the first one. This is so our next line of rope will lay evenly on the same side. Then we are going to find the center between the 2 knots. You're going to pull the bottom 2 pieces of rope together and you're going to make the hole that'll essentially be going over your calf's nose. I usually just eyeball it for our calves, but you can measure the circumference of your calf's nose to get the exact measurement needed. You're then going to take your D-ring and find the end of your rope. Place it on the 2 ends and slide it up. Be sure to keep your hand where you have the approximate size for your calf's nose. Once you have your D-ring up where it belongs, you're going to hold it in place and use your other hand to tie a knot around it. You'll feed the rope through and pull gently to tighten. At this point, you don't want to tighten it all the way because we're going to take our ring and slide it to the proper position. You're going to want the flat part to fit evenly in between those 2 pieces of rope right there. And now you will finish pulling the rope tight to secure, checking that your nose hole is still the appropriate size that you wish. Mine usually end up around 6 inches. You will notice at this point you have one longer piece of rope and one shorter piece of rope. The short end of your rope should always be on your right side and the longer piece to your left. You're going to take the longer side on your left and start with that. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, our starting point, about 2-3 inches. Loop it around again. You want it to be slightly taller than your nose piece. Loop it around and tie your knot. Here I am just checking that it is slightly higher than the nose piece. You're then going to take the end rope, the same piece you've been working with, and feed it through the first knot on your nose ring. Stay on the right side of the rope that is currently there. You're then going to feed it through the second knot. Again, be sure to stay on the right side of the nose rope that is currently there. Here, I'm just using my hand to even everything out. You're now going to flip it over and lay it out. You can use the side that you have already tied to make sure that the rope you are working with on this side matches the other side. You're then going to want to begin to slowly tighten the knots around the nose piece. Be sure to check after every tug that the knots are in the same place and even. Then we will lay our halter down. You will take the 2 pieces of rope that you have and use the other side as a measurement to keep them the same size. The top rope you will bring up and to the tie knot to check for the appropriate length, and the same with the bottom. Once you've made sure that everything is even, you will grab it and tie a knot. It does not matter which direction you go for this knot. Pull it through and pull it tight to secure. Here I'm just double checking that everything is still the same size and even. I'm now going to completely pull it tight and snug. At this point, you have completed your rope halter. I like to leave the extra length on the rope until I have taken it out and tried it on our zebu calf. Leaving the extra length allows me, once I have tried it on the calf, if it is too big or too small, I will have extra rope if it is too small to make the halter bigger by adjusting my knots without having to undo the entire halter. If it is too big, I can do the same by loosening the knots and tightening all of them. Once you've done all of that, you can do 2 things. You can either cut off your extra rope, being sure to leave yourself room to be able to tie, or you can leave it and extend the size as your zebu calf grows. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this video very helpful on making your own miniature zebu calf halters.